what is for you will not pass by you. So you got to just go for what you want. And then if it's meant for you, like it truly will be for you.
Hello, everyone. I am Melissa Forziat of Take the Doughnut, here to help you get inspiration and get donuts. I'm a motivational keynote speaker, and today I'm bringing you a Take the Doughnut interview with Katz. Dash is an actor, singer, model, host, and reality TV star competing on Netflix's SQUID GAME, The Challenge. Welcome, Dash.
Thank you so much for having me. I love your show, and I am very excited to be here.
So glad to have you here. And I'll ask you this question just to get us going. So, what is your favorite donut?
My favorite donut has to be the Boston cream donut because I love chocolate. I'm a chocolate stan, but I also love the cream, and I'm like all about the best of both worlds. So I would say the Boston cream donut.
Want that surprise on the inside.
Yes, full of surprises.
Well, I said just a bit about you to start us off, but tell us more about yourself. What should we know about Dash Katz?
All right. Well, I am originally from Montclair in New Jersey, and I ended up going to college in the South in College of Charleston, and then transferred to NYU and graduated from there. And I've been in the city ever since. And I'm super close with my family. I'm a reality TV super fan since I was 6 years old, and it was always my life dream to compete on one because it was always like the competition shows that really got me going. So I was like determined to get on one, and now that finally happened. And yeah, so I just have been pursuing art for a long time in the city, doing all the things that you mentioned. And yeah, I mean, I'm a ginger allergic to sunblocks. That's pretty iconic. I'm a living oxymoron.
That's it. Okay, I'm going to take us off track immediately, and I'm going to try to get us back on after this question. But okay, as a reality TV fan, is your heart with old school or newer school reality TV? Because it's changed so much over the years in so many different ways. So what do you gravitate towards in your fandom?
I love this question. I gotta say, I mean, I love it all, but I'm team old school. And I say that because the golden era, for me, was actually the VH1 competition shows, like the I Love Money, the I Love New York Flavor of Love, Charm School. Those top tier because the personalities are larger than life, such good drama and such good humor and comedy. And even when it comes to Survivor, Big Brother, I mean, Survivor, I feel has done a good job and is still really good. But Big Brother is just simply not as good as it used to be because everyone's so scared of getting canceled, I think, that we're not seeing Big Brother 10 levels of drama anymore. And me as a viewer, I'm here to be entertained. So if you're entertaining, I'll probably like you unless you're an actually terrible person. But a villain, I'll always root for a villain that's not a bad person, but just there to play and there to entertain. I love those kind of players because they're good TV.
Well, there you have it. I think I tend to agree with a lot of your assessments there, but yeah, it's just interesting to see. It's interesting to see what people think about it because it's just exploded. That whole industry has exploded in the last, I don't know, 10 years. It's been wild.
Yeah, there's so many shows now. It's I have so much to catch up on. It's because I've been so busy. It's my DVR. It's I keep having to eliminate now the reality shows to get it down because I'm my DVR is filling up. I need to catch up.
It's a reality show unto itself. Well, so
Yes.
what are we talking about today now that I have completely gotten us off track? So this is a Take the Doughnut interview. And for those who don't know what that means, for me, Take the Doughnut is an expression that means the same as carpe diem, seize the opportunity, seize the day. It comes from this really weird thing that happened to me in college where I left an actual donut on a table, but it became an object lesson for me and what it looks like when you leave an opportunity behind that you could have taken. And so now I say take the donut because I don't want to do that anymore. And so I'll link a video here for those who haven't seen it before. But this conversation is all about going after opportunity in life. What does that look like? What does it entail, practically speaking, for us when we want to go after a goal or a dream? So with that in mind, the first question I want to ask you is, how are you with going after goals? What is that process like for you?
Oh, love this question. I would say I'm pretty out there as a person. I kind of just leave it all out on the table. I'm a pretty open book. I'm the kind of person like you can ask me anything and I'll be honest. Unless we're playing a strategic game, then I may have to lie a little bit. But in real life, you know, and I would say it depends on where I'm at mentally, but usually I'm pretty good about going for what I want. I've always felt like I had something special within myself, so I believe in myself in that aspect, and I'm like not afraid to go for what I want because I know I have a lot to bring to the table, I
when
would
you
say.
have when you have like really big things that you go after, things that'll take a lot of time or a lot of steps in the process, what do you do to stay motivated? It sounds like getting initiated is not that hard for you, but how do you keep that energy up?
Yes, because that's the thing. It can be in the industry that I've been in entertainment now a very long time, and I've been applying for reality shows a very long time. And I got close to so many different shows time and time again before Squid Game happened. And it's like, it can be exhausting and it can be demoralizing when you're like, why not me? And you see the people they pick. I'm like, are they okay? But that sounds so shady, but I'm not talking
Sometimes,
about
yeah.
everybody. I'm not talking about everybody, but there's always like at least one that I'm like, are you kidding me? So I would say knowing that what is for you won't pass by you. That's like a quote that I truly live by. And it's something I have to remind myself of constantly because it's so true. It's like, because I was a finalist for the Circle 1 year before Squid Game, right? But I was not in a good place mentally. I was heartbroken. I was devastated. And I had let myself go a little bit. I like stopped modeling because I felt so gross. And then a few things happened in my life that kind of got me back together. And then a year later is when I got the call for Squid Game. And I'm like, honestly, like, if I had gone on the circle, I was just not going to be able to bring my best self. And even though I do feel like I was still healing when I filmed Squid Game, it was leaps and bounds better of a place. And I felt like at least I could bring my entertainment and my humor to the show. The audience didn't really get to see my backstory and like my heart as much as I would have liked or my relationships. But at least I got to be entertaining. So that was always like the number one goal. Of course, as a reality superfan, I gotta like, you know, make the fan in me proud and entertaining. So that was good. So yeah, I would say reminding myself of that quote, what is for you will not pass by you. So you got to just go for what you want. And then if it's meant for you, like it truly will be for you.
It's like you put those words directly into my soul just now.
I am a
Perfect
witch.
timing.
Yeah. I do consider myself witchy, so you're gonna have a hard time shaking that one.
I don't want to shake it.
Yeah, don't.
I want it in there. Put it in my
Yes,
soul.
it's in.
Amazing. So, okay, when you start going after those things that you want, a lot of times challenges come up. Obviously, we're hearing about some of them already
Yeah.
in that answer. Is there a particular brand of challenge that you just seem to keep encountering? Like, no matter what you go after, this is something you always have to contend with?
Absolutely. I would say not letting the loud voices around me debilitate me. That would be my answer because if I look internally, I do have a lot of like self-belief and I do have a lot of confidence in myself. And I've survived so much in my life. It's taken me a lot to get to this place where I'm like, honestly, like my friend Audrey from Big Brother, actually, she's an icon, the one and only trans contestant of Big Brother US. Shout out to my queen. She always taught me, you're a diamond dash. You've been buried by life, and that's exactly how diamonds are made. You are hard to kill. And it feels like when you have a light, like people will you'll always be polarizing in that aspect. And when you're polarizing, people can just be so mean. And I found that not only from people online, where it's like, I try and focus on the love because there are so many amazing people out there, but it's also can be people in your life who you think are your friends and stuff, or who may be jealous and maybe like cutting you down, or like just being like low key haters. And that has affected me because I'm like, I'm such a uplifting person to the people around me, that when those people that I put trust into don't give me that same love and that same uplifting, it's heartbreaking. And I have a hard time not giving my power away to people who are trying to bring me down. And it can get me off the tracks a little bit. And then I need to like reclaim my power, like look inside myself, and then I'm like good again. But it is hard not to let the voices around you, when they are negative, weigh you down.
So well said. And I think, especially what you said about people who are close to you doing that, it's pretty like it's a deceptive thing, because you want to believe them. You think you should believe
Exactly.
them. So I think a lot of people deal with that and may not even have put their finger on what the situation was. And, by you saying that the way you did, hopefully like somebody opens their eyes to like, oh, wait a minute, this is what it is for me too. It's
Exactly.
insidious.
Yeah, and I would say you just have to recognize people for who they are, and then move accordingly. It doesn't always need to be a huge drama. It may just look like space from that person, only being with that person in, spaces where you kind of have to be with them. And it doesn't need to be a big drama, because that actually can take more out of you, and that can take more time and energy, if it's especially if they're kind of a toxic person. I would say backing away slowly and staying on good terms, if you've recognized that this person is like toxic, might be a better way to go about it than necessarily a confrontation, if you don't think that they are capable of doing that in a healthy way, just from my experience.
Such good wisdom that you're sharing here.
Thank you.
So to switch gears a little bit, so if you think back personally, professionally, recently, way past, whatever comes to mind, what is the biggest donut you have ever taken?
Ooh. Okay, I have a very big donut personally, but I just don't think I'm in the place quite yet to be public about that. So maybe we'll have another one of these interviews down the line, and I'll be ready. But I will share my biggest professional donut, which was agreeing to do Squid Game, because that was such a big risk, because there's 456 players, and half of them are going to go home on day one in a grueling physical competition. So I knew, I was like, oh my God, like I'm a twink. Like, like I don't know. Like I'm like, oh my God, like what are the chances? Number one, I always wanted to win the reality show that I played. So that was terrifying. There's 456 people. Who knows if I'll even be seen? And on top of that, like if I go home on day one and that's like because you're locked in a contract at that point, I would be so devastated. And I know, like, as a lifelong super fan, as this is my lifelong dream, like, I would have been in a really heartbroken, devastated place if that was to have happened. And I was like, you know what, though? I don't want to shut the door on myself. What is for me won't pass by me, and this is coming to me, and I believe in myself, and I know I can make it through, and I know I can make my mark on the competition. Like, I just got to believe it, and I got to do it. But that was a huge risk, because for so many people, mostly like probably 420 of the people, they were basically extras on the show. And they say that themselves, so I'm not trying to be offensive. And some of those people are icons and amazing people and stars, and the world never got to see that in this situation. But I'm very grateful and humbled and proud that I was able to, own every moment I was there, fight, fight, fight to the death. And even though, like, honestly, like looking back at the show and how it was like edited, because there's so many people, like that was very difficult for me to process because I was actually in the alliance, I was in the alliance that I blew up. And they had betrayed me, kicked me off the tug of war team, laughed at me behind my back. They really did not treat me well. And so then when it came time to vote, it was a no brainer who I was voting. And no, I'm not going to tell you that I voted you because you had already done me dirty. But in the edit, it really looked like I was like the mischievous backstabber when I was being mischievous, but that's because I had to protect my game and I had to, get my lick back against people that had betrayed me, but that's not how it was shown. So that was kind of oh, there goes my AirPod. Let me pick that up. So that was kind of hard to process, but regardless, I feel like I've made the most out of what I was given in the story, the my story that was told, even though there was some important context from my perspective missing. And I'm proud of myself because I really did seize every moment and I played with my heart, I played with my brain, and I gave all of myself to the competition. So definitely no regrets taking that donut.
And I think there's a lesson in that for all of us, that like there are parts of it you can control and there are parts that you can't. So like you went after the parts that you could control and you did the best you could. And then you have to make some amount of peace with the fact that there's things that are not things that you can have power over or, choose the direction of. And, having that acceptance can be difficult.
I love that you said that because that's exactly what my mom would tell me when I came home. And the way I was eliminated was really dark, a lot darker than how it was presented. Um, and for someone who's this was my life dream, that was very difficult to process. And I know I could have won that game. That's the thing. Like, especially if you look at what comes after that in the game, I definitely think I could have won that game if that very unfortunate um, problematic elimination did not happen. But at the end of the day, my mom told me, Dash, all you can do now, you didn't win. You got to process this, you got to heal this, and you got to do what you can control, which is your content. You're an artist. Take this pain and put it through your art. And that's exactly what I did. I created my drag race coded photo shoots, did a photo shoot for every game, my elimination, and my, of course, guard love affair. And then I also did the spilling the ink where I got to tell people the story for my journey. And that kind of protected me no matter what the edit showed, because I was going to release that and let the fans know what happened from my perspective. And I'm so proud and grateful that I did both of those things because I think it really showed people who I am as a human and as an artist. So
yeah, and you take the parts you don't love and you turn it into something beautiful, which is, what more power can you take from a situation? And that kind of brings me to my next question. So is there a donut that's currently in progress for you, something that you're trying to take right now that you can talk about?
Well, yes, of course. I'm a hungry girl. I'm trying to eat all the donuts. I would say I definitely would love to get redemption. That would be something that I would love. I'm trying to win the next time I compete. So that would be something I would definitely want to do. I definitely want to continue in the modeling, the hosting, the acting spaces. I just found out that I will be walking New York Fashion Week again this year. And apparently, I'm pretty sure Blue Kim from Big Brother is going to be walking the same show. So that should be really fun. And I have a new eyebrow campaign coming out for like eyebrow products. So I have some stuff coming out that I can talk about, some things that are in the work that I can't talk about. But I just want to keep going, not let people debilitate me, keep finding the power within myself and keep going for my dreams. I would love to one day host my own reality show. That would be like goals, but yeah, maybe be on one more before that.
What are so many amazing ideas. And Audrey sounds like a good person to talk to about those, that whole direction that you want to go in as well.
I love her so much. And yeah,
That's
Audrey's great. I am lucky that like I already was friends with people from reality competition shows before going on one, just because I've been in the scene, been going to the parties. Um, so that's been nice to lean on. Like Jessica Milagros is another big reality star who I adore and consider like a genuine true friend. I would definitely shout her out among others, but I always go to Jessica for like advice when it comes to this stuff.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Well, you know, there may be people listening to this that are thinking of something that they want to do and they either haven't started yet, or maybe they did and they're not sure what the next step is. So let's sprinkle some encouragement. What would you say to those people who have a donut they want to take and they're just not sure how to move forward from here?
I would say go for it. I would say it's a lot easier said than done. But like for me, if I could go back and like I every time that I almost got on a show and I was like devastated, and it was like always this like I'm like such an emotional, sensitive person that it's like I'm either like I am the queen, I'm playing, or I'm like everything's terrible, I'm a loser. Like it's like such high highs and low lows. Like pick yourself up and don't let, if you failed, you actually succeeded because at least you tried. That's what I say. And if I had been, I should have been doing what I'm doing now, like long before I ever got on a show. And I did do it for a while, but then I like got defeated. And it's like, don't get defeated. Keep going. Take it one day at a time, one step at a time, because that's really what it's about, is taking little steps towards your goal. You can't overwhelm yourself with the ending picture because then you're never going to start. You just got to start with today, and you got to start with something small, make a to-do list, and even maybe like say your ultimate goal and work backwards from there, and think about it in a year to 6 months to 1 month, then to 1 week, and then boom, you have a to-do list for the week. That would be some helpful advice. Like my to-do list is my savior, and my calendar. Like those are two tools that I use daily. So
Like that you have both the creativity and the organization behind it as well. So, you
it's
know,
key. Yeah.
where can people find you if they want to see what you're up to now? What links should I put in the description?
All right. Well, I just revamped my website, so I'm pretty proud of that. It's just katz.com. And then my at is like the same on all social media. At Katz on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. And I'm also available to book on Cameo and Fan Basis, which there's some fun experiences there. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Awesome. Everybody be sure to check out Dash's resources, everything that was just named. And if you liked
Yes.
this video, be sure to like and subscribe because we have so many inspirational Take the Doughnut interviews still to come. In the meantime, Dash, thank you so much for taking a little time and talking about going after opportunity, inspiring all of us with your stories.
Thank you. I'm so honored to be here. Love your content. Keep going. I will be watching. I'm already subscribed, so be sure to subscribe down below.
Oh, thank you. Okay, everyone.
Yeah.
You know what to do. Get inspiration, get donuts. Bye, everyone.